Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today, we're going to be making an index faux file folder with a notepad. So, we have an index card here that I made into a faux file folder, and I've decorated it up with some crinkled seam binding from my scrap cabin shop and some papers from a paper pad. And I have a digital with the bunnies from Polka Art Studio, a little bow, a whale tab, and I have sewn around the edge of mine. I just think it's so cute. Now this one is a Christmas theme. The one we're going to make together is not a Christmas theme. And as you can see inside, it is a index card, and I have put a little bit of gussets on the side. They're not a lot of gussets. It doesn't give you a lot of extra room, but it does allow you to pop it open just a little bit easier. I took a 6x6 paper pad and I made the cover for the little flip book. It has a built-in pocket on the front inside cover as well as the back. And I made my tag from the paper leftover scrap that I had from my 6x6 paper pad that I used here. So I've got my pages for my little flip book, and they are from the wrapping paper. And then I've got one on this side and a little tab I have sewn around the edge. And it just pops right down inside. I just thought it would be fun to have a little flip book to place inside of this. So this paper, or these paper, the striped one and the one that was the cover of the little notebook, is from this paper pad right here. So that's where this striped one right here is this striped right there. That's the one I used. Alrighty, so now let's go ahead and let's start our one together. Now let me grab my index cards. So I started with an index card that looked just like this. And this index card is 8 inches by 5 inches. Got a little gnat or something in here. And I coffee dyed it. So that's why mine looks like this. And I'm going to put the line part of my index card on the inside. So I'm going to fold it over this way. It's like this. And that's the beginning of our little faux file folder. Now I have some 6x6 paper from a paper pad. Now I have no idea what paper pad this came out of. I've got all kinds of paper pads. And this one happens to be one-sided, so I coffee dyed the back side. These in here are double-sided. You could use double-sided paper if you have it. I have no idea where I'm thinking it might have come out of this one, which no longer has a top to it. But you know what I mean. If you have paper pads and you've had them for a long time, sometimes you have no idea where the top went, right? It just kind of goes away somewhere. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and trim myself some strips. And I'm going to trim, I'm going to mark with my pencil. I'm going to trim, I'm going to mark this one right here. I'm going to trim a half, or not a half, a whole inch. So I marked an inch, and I'm going to cut this. I think it might fit inside just barely. Okay, I'm going to cut that just like that. And then I'm going to fold this in half, or cut it in half is what I should say. Cut it in half. So I'm going to mark it at the 3 because it's 6 inches, because it was a 6x6 paper pad, and giving this a cut in half. So we've cut our strip, which is 1 inch wide by 3 inches long. And now what I want to do is I'm going to fold it with the outside print on the outside, the print on the outside. Boy, I'm having issues here with my words. I'm having difficulty. Alrighty, so we've got that done. So what I want to do is I'm going to be placing this inside of here like this. to make our little gussets, except it's not going to give you a lot of extra room, but it will help with getting in and out. Now before I do that, I'm going to round my corners. So rounding my corners here. And I think I'd like to decorate it maybe first. I've got a little bit of book page here. It's very brittle book page, but I think it might be really pretty if I use it on this piece. Well, I didn't rip exactly how I wanted it. Maybe something like that. Okay, I like that. So I also have a dish. Let me bring my dish in here. I've got a dish of these little Fussy Cuts. Now, I'm pretty sure they're from my Porch Prints. I have 2 of them. I also have some doilies. I thought, I don't know, do I want a little bit of doily in here with it? I'm not sure. I'm just playing around with it right this minute. So let's lay this on here. And then maybe something like that. I think that looks really sweet. There's also a pink one. We could try that out. Maybe we like the pink one better. I'm not sure. Well, there's the way the pink one looked. I kind of like the white one a little better. So let's go ahead and I've inked up my Fussy Cuts already. So let's get those up there. And I'll pull this down just a little bit so you can see it just a little bit better. I don't really like how this has ripped. I don't like that the skinny part is on the top. And I didn't realize there was 2 pages here either. So I'm going to try that again. I'm not going to use a ruler because I really want it to be, I want it to be uneven, but not so uneven that I dislike it. If that makes any sense at all. I think I like that better. And see what I mean by, I didn't like how this went down like this. I didn't want to put my words upside down, but I felt like this should have been down here. So I just tore myself another piece. I have my frayed burlap Distress Oxide ink. And I'm going to gently, because like I said, this page is very, very brittle. If I went to fold it, it would just crack. But it's very useful when we can use it for collage. It's a beautiful color. I'm going to lightly mark my doily with my ink. So just going around here, very lightly mark it around like this. Okay, and let's go ahead and get this put together. So I'm going to grab a little paper clip just to help me hold this together so I'm not, trying to hold it down and glue at the same time. And I think I would like it this way. Let's get our Fussy Cut back. They're 2 different colors, and I'm not exactly sure why they're 2 different colors, but they are. Maybe something like this. And I'm putting it over more on the right-hand side because of the handle, because I think I'm going to put my whale tab up here. I think that is where I'm going to want that. I think. I'm just thinking about it. So let's go ahead and get this all glued down now. I'm going to move this over to the side just so I can spread out just a little bit more. I like to glue my piece together before I glue it onto my main piece. That's just the way I like to do it. So I'm going to add my glue to my notepad, or my book page, I should say. And maybe something like this. And then I'm going to glue my Fussy Cut on top. Just like that. Got some glue that has seeped through. I'll just wipe that up. Bring this back, and I wanted it over to the right hand side. So moving my paper clip and adding my glue onto my doily. Just like this. Okay, I think that's enough glue. Getting this glued down. Maybe something like this. Okay, I'm getting a little tiny piece of paper towel to help me daub because it's being a doily and it's got holes, so the glue is coming through a little bit. Now I'm going to tear this. I didn't want to cut it because the whole thing is torn. And then I'm going to just ink it a little bit. I'm going to go all the way around and tear this just like that. Now, if you like to sew with your machine, as I do, I love to sew paper with my machine. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sew around this. Now, I'm going to open it up. So I'm not sewing it closed because remember, we made our little gussets right here. So let me go ahead and sew this and I'll be right back. All right, so I've sewn around the edge. Let's go ahead and let's add our little gussets. So what I want to do is, I'm going to actually just ink the fold here on the outside and open this up. And I want to place them down towards the bottom fold where we folded it. Now let's see if I can move it down here. Yeah, you can still see it down here. So I want to pop them right here, and the fold is going to go right on the edge. So I'm going to add my art glitter glue, and I'm going to glue this on. So just like this, right on the fold. Pick this up so I can make sure that I can still fold it. And not having it go all the way to the top also helps in the fact that it will enable you to get in and out of this faux file folder a little easier than if it was all the way to the top. So putting them on both sides first, and then adding my glue to both of them like this, and then pulling up and pressing down so that this part gets glued on as well. And then you have a, well, it's probably not glued down, I didn't give it enough time, but we'll open it up in just a few minutes. While we're waiting for that to dry, I have some beautiful crinkled seam binding from my scrap cabin shop, and this says it's baby pink, and I do believe it's the correct label on there. I think I'd like to put a little bit of ruffle right on the left hand side because my right hand side is pretty heavy with my decoration. So I'm using hot glue because it's quick and easy, and it's really good for videos, for making videos. It enables me to keep going and not have things move around on me. So adding just a little bit at a time and then taking my fingers and pinching. I do this a lot in my decorating, and it just, I don't know, it adds movement, and I just think it looks so beautiful. Even though the seam binding's crinkled, this adds even more texture to the design. So just work your way down, and the seam binding glides on your glue. Now I would suggest using a wet glue and not using a glue stick, and just let it glide on the glue. Gliding on the glue. I think I can do all the way down now. There we go. Oh, I just love how that looks. trimming off my excess, grabbing my little scissors here and getting this trimmed off over here too. I'm going to add a little bit of extra glue to make sure it's glued down right on the bottom. There we are. I love that. Now, let's get our dishes back in here. I kind of seem to it feels like, I don't think we need this one right now. We do need this. It feels like I need a label or something right down here. It almost feels like I need a little bit of a weight, some kind of weight down here. And I'm just looking for that special label that once I put it, I'm going to say, oh yeah, that's it. That's the right size. That I don't know that I really like that one, but that's the right size. Let's see here. That one's way too big. I can tell that. Let's see, what's in here? What does the circle one do for me? That's not bad. It's different. This one's way too big. How about this one? That one's okay. I think this one's too big. Yeah, that's too big. So, goodness gracious. I thought out of all these labels, I thought I would have one that I would say, oh yeah, that's it, but I don't. This is really, I guess, the closest, and it's the right size. So I'm going to ink this up. So adding my ink to the edges, and I'm going to pop it on right down here at the bottom. Just like this. There we go. All right, so I've got that. Now let's look at our tab, and I want to put it maybe about right here. You know, I thought I wanted it to be like that, but now that's the back side. I don't care for this tab on there now. I'm going to have to find another tab that I like. All right, I found a tab that I think goes nicely, and I want that to go about right there, and I thought I would like a little flower on there. I'm not sure. I've got two different colors. That one's pretty doggone bright, isn't it? So I think I'm going to stick with this one. It's just a little paper flower. I'm going to add my glue to the bottom here, and I'm going to pop it right, let's see, line this up, and let's pop it right there. There we go. And then I'm going to add, it's almost like it needs a little something, and I don't know what, except for maybe I just need to put it on there and then add a little pearl in the center. Oh yeah, that's what it needed. It was just wanting its little flower, and I think I'm going to pop it about right there. Put this on here, and then pick up my flat back pearl and pop it in the center. Now, I think I want a pearl here and here, but I think I want a little bit larger one. All right, so I grabbed two more pearls and I popped them on the top and bottom there. I think that turned out lovely. Now, as you can see, we can open it up so nicely because we have our little gussets inside. Love that. Now, remember I had this that I made the gussets from. Well, I have a full page here, 6x6 paper pad, and I did coffee dye the back. It takes the coffee dye very, very well. I'm going to fold it in half like this, and then I'm going to fold it up one more time in a different direction. I brought out the one that I had made to go in the Christmas one, the example, to see. It's about 4 1/4 inches is what I folded it. So 4 1/4. That's about right here. So lining things up, looking once more, and then creasing. So there is our built-in pocket for our little journal. So I'm going to grab my punch, my corner punch, and I'm going to punch those corners out right there. I'm also going to grab my sponge with my frayed burlap, and I'm going to color the edges here. I just love how that look. Now it is a personal choice whether you like that look or not. So if you do, great. If you don't, great. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's personal. And this is your project, guys. So you do it the way you like it. So there we go. We got that. So the next thing I'm going to do is, because I have sewn around the edge here, I am going to, at this point in time, take it to my machine and I'm going to sew around the edge here too. So let's see if I can get this to, there we go. All right, so I sewed around the edge. We've got our built-in pockets now. Let's talk about making some tags. Now this was the piece that I cut the piece off, I guess I cut it off here, to make the gussets. So let's use this for our tags to go inside of our pocket, built-in pockets there. So I'm going to need 2. So I'm going to mark 2.5 inches. I think that's what I need. We're going to find out. I'm thinking that's what it is. So let's go ahead and trim this like this and trim it like this. There we go. We've got 2. Let's see if they fit in. They fit in nicely. I'm going to go ahead and mark. I want to cut this off right here, and I'm going to cut this one off right here, just like this. I guess I could have done it together. I could go a little faster, just like that. All right, so now we've got our 2 tags. I do have a little machine here. It only says alignment. It doesn't have any other measurements or any, well, names on it. I'm going to pop this in just like this, and I'm going to punch it. Okay, so now we've got a cute little tag. Now I did purchase this from, I think it was Hobby Lobby a while back. I kept looking at it and didn't know if it was really something that I would like. And when it went on sale one day, I said, okay, today I've looked at it long enough. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it. So I went ahead and purchased it, and I absolutely love the thing. I think it's fantastic. So quickly, I am inking this up. Now I already inked the back of my paper pad. It takes coffee. I coffee dyed it earlier. It takes the coffee dye or tea dye very, very well. And so you can definitely do that with your paper pads. I'm going to take the little corners off the bottom. And one more thing I want to do to these is I've got some of those hole savers, and I just run my sponge on it to color them up a little bit. So I got the colors on there. Mine are so very old. The sticky is just really icky sticky. I mean, it's just, ugh. It's not nice. But anyway, I put more glue on because I don't trust the glue because it's so very old. So adding a little bit more glue, that's why I'm doing this, because I don't trust the glue that's on here. But I think this makes it look so cute. You can pick up these hole savers. I even think you can get them at the grocery store. They're easy to find, and at least in the past they have been. And I think I can do this 2 at one time now and pop this on the back side. Yeah, I'm going to put some on the front and on the back. I just think finishing off the back is really nice. So popping that on there just like that. Now we can add a little something else to our pockets. I don't know that I have something that I have that I can add onto those pockets quickly? I don't really think so. But on the front, I'm going to put my teapot, but I don't know if it will fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fussy cut it. We're going to change it up. It's a teapot, and I like my flowers. I'm going to cut the handle off. I need a little more of my handle to cut off, though. If I put it this way, I could trim, maybe we should do it that way, trim some of the flowers. So just doing something like that. Now will it fit? Oh goodness, it will all fit on there now. That's wonderful. So because I cut it, I'm going to add a little bit of color on there. Wish I had another doily, but I don't. I could add this pink doily on there. That's pretty. Let's tear it. And let's put a little bit on the bottom. And let's see about maybe putting a little bit on the top. Maybe something like that. That's sweet. All right, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to ink it up just a tiny bit, just to give it a little color. And then I'm going to add my glue onto my fussy cut. And I'm going to lay this on the way that I think I want it. I think I want it maybe something like that. Yeah, that's fine. And then a little bit down here. Maybe something like that. I've got to remove this little piece right here. There. Okay. Let's just glue this one up. Maybe something like this. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. I actually think I would have liked the white one better, but I had this one on my table, so I just picked it up. I'm going to make it work. Gluing this on for my decoration for the front of my little book. It's going to go inside of my index card faux file folder. Now, I have an extra little tab, and I think I'd like to place it back here. I just think that's going to look super cute. I'm going to move this out of the way while I pop this down, adding a little glue and popping it on about, just lining this up just so I can get it best I can. Maybe about right there. That looks good to me. Well, it needs a little paper, right? Now before I use the wrapping paper, I already cut some coffee dyed papers here, and there's 2 of them, so there's only going to be 4 in this little book. It's just a tiny little, I think I called it a flip book in my description. I need to pop it in here. Now I used a little scrap. I always do this. It's about 1 inch wide. You make it the length of your journal that you're making. Fold it in half this way, then fold it in half one more time, and one more time. Crease it well. Open it up. Mark with the pencil the intersection of the folds. And this is your little tool that you're going to use to put in your signature. Now, I've already put my stuff away, and I need to go ahead and grab it. All right, so I sewed in my signature. So there we have it, and we can pop this right into our faux file folder. How cute is that? To pop into a pocket, send it out in Happy Mail, or even put it in a Christmas stocking. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.